to have you here, Niurka.
I'm really inspired to be here.
Love to have you. You know, your background. I mean, a lot of kids get in a lot of trouble when they're growing up. But what was your moment where you just said, "I've got to change things"? You know, when did it just switch over for you?
Well, I just knew I was so frustrated with my life, and I knew inside that I was destined for more than what was showing up. So I started asking some very deep questions.
You did that on your own, not someone else had. No one else had to prod you, like your parents were.
Well,
not
there was just a
pushing you,
lot going on in my family. My parents changed religions when I was 12. So all of a sudden I found myself in a very confused space and starting to really look at questions like, who am I and what's my purpose? You know,
number one, corporate trainer for Tony Robbins. Okay,
Yes.
that's a big difference from where you were before.
Yes.
But what's the most common complaint or issue that you have to deal with, or that you see people coming in needing to deal with?
Just when they're feeling stuck, where they're feeling like they keep recreating the same experiences of reality. You know, so they're really looking for ways to be fully expressed in their gifts. How do they create abundance and prosperity and health and vitality and incredible relationships?
We were talking about that yesterday. It sounds a little bit like a life coach. Is that similar at all, or
You know,
is it very different?
It is, but I work more with groups. So I work
Okay.
with groups. It's a process of alchemy. It's finding out whatever you've been stuck in your life and discovering what's the gift there. I'm a firm believer that whatever's challenged someone the most is where the greatest gift is.
So one of the things that you say is that our language is really what creates a positive environment for us. Specifically, what do you mean? And we're not just talking about the power of positive thinking. It's deeper than that, right?
It's deeper than that. We are creators, and we create as we speak. And every time we open our mouth, we are literally speaking into existence. And the quality of our life will reflect the quality of our communication.
Okay.
Because every time that we speak, our statements and our questions contain within them a presupposition, an embedded assumption that causes us to find things that are in alignment with what we're declaring. So if someone says, how am I going to survive? It triggers their brain to activate that frequency, and then they begin to look for survival. Versus if someone was asking a question like, how can I be even more aware of the opportunities around me? So the quality of our questions determines the quality of our life.
The words "but" and the words "and" are something that you say we should use one of them less than the other, right?
Well, you know, the thing about the word "but," and these are some of the small distinctions, and sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference. The word "but" negates. So if someone says, hey, honey, I love you, but it would be really great if you called me if you were going to be late.
You forget about the first
dinner.
part.
Then what happens is you just negated what came before it. So if you just do a simple shift and you transform that word "but" to an "and," then you're able to displace any resistance and have more of a connection, which is what we all want anyways.
Who has a tougher time dealing with making these changes? Is there someone that is, or a group of people, like men or women, do you see someone coming through and you say it's going to be tougher to get through to them than this group?
You know, the key thing is you've got to have a desire for it. You've got to be open and receptive. And it doesn't matter if it's a man or if it's a woman. When you come to that place when you're open, that's the first key.
And it does work, really does work?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. We're creators, and we're creating our experience of reality from moment to moment based on what we're focusing on, based on what we're telling ourselves, based on how we're moving our body, based on our beliefs. So when we begin to make these shifts on the inside, then our entire experience of reality changes. So the key thing is like I say to people, if I gave you a tape recorder and it recorded everything you said for a week.
Oh, we'd be in trouble if you did that. Turn the tape recorder off, destroy the tape.
But then what would happen at the end of the week?
You'd see it all, yeah.
And what if we knew that what we were speaking was going to materialize?
Well, it's good to have you here. Good tips, too. Thank you, and congratulations.